most people see me, aside from noticing the color of my skin, that I'm a male, what do they notice next? These things. Glasses. How many of you in this room wear glasses or contact lenses? Everybody except for 2 people. You're so lucky. But how many of you would believe that by the end of this speech, each and every person here can have better than 20/20 vision? 20/20 vision refers to clarity. The clarity that the normal person normally sees. But if I were to ask you, what do you see when you see this image? For those of us who can read this, maybe only Tom, maybe not, but we might see a turtle or a farm box. What do you see when you look at this? A snake? A seahorse? What about this? I think for some reason, Arizona. That's what I know. Are all these symbols and images in full clarity for us, even those of us who wear corrective lenses? They are. But each of us sees something different. But the measurement of 20/20 of clarity does not include is what we see when we look at something. There are different measurements for visual health. One of which is peripheral vision, what you can see from the side, what you're aware of. Normally awareness either saves you from things that are coming your way, like if you're driving and there's somebody in a blind spot, but you tilt your head just a little bit so that in your peripheral vision you see a car coming. Or maybe in your life, you know certain warnings that are coming across that you perceive as, well, if I continue going down this path, I will eventually encounter something bad. Your peripheral vision and awareness will save you from a lot of mishaps in life. But it will also give you a lot of opportunities. For any man in this room who has ever tried to look at a girl without looking at her, anybody ever play I Spy? That's what you're doing in the middle of the room, or maybe on the side of the room, when you're trying to notice somebody without letting them know that you notice them, or maybe without letting your Twix friends notice them. You can see opportunities of people around you to introduce yourself to engage. Another aspect of visual health would be eye coordination. Can you move your eyes to look at things? If a ball bounces across, can you laser in on it? I remember when I first started playing basketball, this is how I would shoot. What's wrong with that? I can't see where the ball is when it's back here. Can you coordinate your vision? Can you see the things that are coming into your life that are supposed to be clearly in front of you? Can you pace yourself? If something's moving too quickly and you can't keep up with it, what do you do? How many of you play video games? Maybe first-person shooters. How many of you are good at those? Is it because you have quick reaction time? Maybe. But any person in here who has ever been beaten by a kid knows that that kid beats you because he knows where all the enemies are. You're waiting to see things to come out, and he already knows, after I kill this person, that person's coming out. So that I might anticipate that. Can you anticipate? Do you know which patterns you have? Because if you have a certain pattern, like if you have a work assignment or homework assignment, what do you normally do? When's it due? I talked about this yesterday at the SACE conference. What do you normally do? You put it off because you think to yourself, how long do I have this done? How long is it going to take me to get this done? You have certain patterns. Can you visualize and see and notice those patterns? There's also depth perception. Going back to basketball. If you have no depth perception, you will not make a shot because you don't know how far away the basket is. How is your judgment? How do you plan for things? What determines and affects your judgment? Well, the things that you put into your life, whether it's good friends or negative influences. Have good judgment. There's also the ability to focus. We live in a world of technology, and while technology is supposed to connect people, it really distracts a lot of people. During these events, we have to repeatedly remind ourselves, please silence your cell phones so that they don't serve as a distraction. Facebook, what was meant to connect people, really distract you from what's really important. Can you focus? Do you have a passionate vision that draws you to something versus a life that you want to be distracted from? There's also the vision of color. I know that some people are born colorblind and they can't see all the colors that everybody else sees, or that guys can see less colors than women. But do you see your life in just a few shades or with color? How can you see things with color? By having gratitude, by having optimism. It's not just looking on the bright side of things. It's looking toward the bright side of things. Can you see something better than what it is so that it can become better than what it is? I mentioned 5 metrics or areas of vision that can take you beyond 2020, which is how, again, most people normally see the clarity that they have. Peripheral vision, your awareness. Eye coordination. Depth perception. Focus ability, and color vision. I know I've been asking, can you? But what I really mean to ask is, will you? Everybody in this room has an opportunity to see with clarity, whether it's with corrected vision or lenses, or it's just how you choose to perceive life. I remember when I first got glasses, I thought to myself, I don't need this. But if you were to ask me now, I couldn't live without it. So some of you hearing this may think, I don't need this. But I encourage you to do something to help your vision, to see better than 2020, and see why you cannot live without it.